So today I'm going to do the air brake test on the 1986 International S1900. We're almost at maximum pressure, right at 8 bar. I'm revving the truck up to speed things up for the video. And the needles will stop right about there. Both sides of the air tank are going at the same rate, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to step on, the parking brake is off. So the only braking that's going to happen is from the pedal. So now I'm going to press the pedal and see how fast the air pressure drops. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one side of the compressor is at just about 50 psi. The other one is remaining close to 100. My understanding is that the reason for that is that one side is for the front, which only has 2 brakes, whereas 2 small brakes, whereas the other side is for the rear, which has 2 larger brakes. Pressure builds up pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure that's less than 2 minutes, and if this was a real life situation, I would already be back in operating pressure. So that's 75 psi right there. Minimum for brakes is about 60, I believe, usually. So 75 psi is already, brakes are released. So at 50 psi, the brakes are still kind of, they don't have the full force applied, but they have some resistance already. 60 psi, the brakes should be free. Just gonna let it get to maximum pressure again. Okay, so now with the truck off, let's see how many pumps I've got. 1, 2, 3, and we don't have any air leaks. So as soon as I let go, the pressure will stop. So at 3 pumps, we're at about 75. 4, 5, 6, 7. And with 7 brakes, full brakes, brake presses, yeah, I guess, we're pretty much at 50 psi. 8, 9, 10. So at 10 psi, we're already below 50 on one side of the compressor. The other side is still pretty much intact, as you can see. So it's not a lot. As you can see, at 10, if your truck is off and you need to get it moved, you don't have a lot of chances to press the brakes until everything just seizes or closes up. My air brake hasn't popped out yet. The parking brakes. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. we still have plenty of air pressure. So I might be wrong on this. It might just be now the other side of the cylinder is lowering the pressure now, right about 50. So I think what happens is there's a valve. I probably made a mistake on this video. I said that one side is for the front, the other side is for the back. That like in a car. Obviously that's not the case. They are connected, but obviously there is something that causes one side of the air tank to be used first. So basically, there's two air tanks. I just have one air tank, but it's basically two air tanks inside of one. Now the dump truck actually does have two air tanks, but what happens is one side of the air tank, there must be a valve that causes one air tank. They're not connected directly like 100%. As you can see, one is empty, the other one is still half full. So I think what happens is it forces one air tank, sorry, I keep saying compressor, to be used before the other, instead of both being used at the same time, which allows, as you can see, that they're not one to be empty while the other is not. Okay, so let's keep pumping here, see what happens. Now, the parking valve should come out at some point. I think we're at 30. 1, 2. There's noticeably less air, so I could be right. I'm not exactly sure how this works. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. There's noticeably much less air to the brakes at this point. Okay, so what I just determined is that this air tank is connected to the shifter valve, because right now I've got it disconnected, so that if I open this valve, you can hear the air leaking. So this side of the compressor is connected to the shifter. So maybe again it's two separate. For one is for the air brakes alone, and the other one is a spare or backup for the air brakes, but it also runs other things like the PTO and the shifter. Let's keep going here.